Hi guys, welcome back. Our last video was the gingerbread house thing. And as you know, we said we had a lot of changes going on and yeah, Nick's not working from home anymore, so it's just me with Knox now. My contract job is over, so I'm back here full-time for now, so it's a good time to try to dive into this and be more consistent. We had full intentions of doing better after the gingerbread house competition with videos, but a lot of crap happened over Christmas. Yes. Just short and simple, I had a miscarriage, and that was just a lot. I was 10 to 11 weeks pregnant at that point. It was a little hard to gauge when you're miscarrying because the growth is a little off. But anywho, that was that. So it was just a lot to deal with and a lot of processing, and then trying to enjoy family time and just time with each other before he went back to working in an office. But anywho, that's not the point of today's video. I decided that today's video would be about breastfeeding. My personal breastfeeding journey. I want to try to keep it short and fast and simple, but I feel like me personally, it would have helped to have someone share these things and tell me about this, or it might help somebody else. Like, I don't know, just I feel like there's so much pressure on breastfeeding these days with social media. Okay, that if you don't breastfeed, you can't breastfeed, you don't want to breastfeed, then you are shamed, or you're not doing what's best for your baby, and that's just far from the truth. A mentally healthy mother is what's best for baby. Just having food is what's best for baby. But with things being the way they are, when I had Knox, I was dead set on breastfeeding. I just knew it was something I wanted to do. I wanted the bond, the experience, the benefits of losing weight. It's free. So I was all about truly trying. But it just didn't work out for me. And I wish someone would have told me sooner that it was okay, because I went through a lot trying to. My milk came in. That wasn't an issue. I had tons of milk, but my milk also came in really early, like before Knox was even born, as weird as that sounds. He did not have issues latching. He had a good latch. We had like 7 lactation consultants during our stay at the hospital, which lactation consultants, wow. I'm sure there's some good ones out there. But out of the 7, we have one good one. They can be very aggressive, make you feel lots of guilt, and they all give conflicting advice. Like, they were all telling me different things, and that's really hard for a new mom who's just trying to do what's best, and you've got people telling you different things. So, like I said, my milk came in, he had a good latch, but my letdown was very hard. To make a long story short, I had lots of milk, but it wouldn't release that well. Knox was taking like an hour to an hour and a half to breastfeed for one sitting, when it really should have been like 30 minutes. And then an hour and a half later, starving. And he was having some weight issues because of his reflux already. And then with being born early, you know, he was in Brenner's for a little bit. There was just a lot of stuff going on. But the doctor told us that essentially Knox was burning more energy trying to get the milk than he was actually consuming. And that was really hard and sad for me, because I wanted to breastfeed so bad that I was just like forcing it at this point. Like, he would scream and I still was like, no, come on, you're latching, we've got this. He was latching, but nothing was coming out. And my boobs were huge and they were leaking, but like, he couldn't get it out by sucking. it was just pitiful, and it got to the point to where I knew I was being selfish by continuing to force it instead of doing what was best with my baby, or for my baby. On top, so then I switched to exclusively pumping. This is when I realized even more so that I really was like probably starving my child by trying to get him to breastfeed. When I would pump, it was so apparent how little milk I was really producing. And I don't know if that's because it came in so early before Knox was even born that it just started to kind of like dry up because it wasn't being used. I don't know. I started off with a good supply that like I was able to feed him and have a really small amount in the freezer. I also didn't have very fatty milk. I did all the supplements, increased my calorie intake, all of that stuff, and it still looked like skim milk constantly. Like, you know, when there's pictures of breast milk where there's like the fat layer and the other part that's like separated. What is it called? The fore milk and the hind milk, like the good stuff and the bad stuff, whatever. Or just the less calorie stuff. Yeah, I didn't have that. Mine was always like skim milk. So he wasn't really getting the good fat. Still having weight issues at this point. And I stopped breastfeeding at 9 weeks. And in those 9 weeks, I got mastitis 4 times. 4. If you've ever had mastitis, you know that one time is enough to kill you. I mean, imagine having the flu, but like 3 times worse. Your whole body aches. You have a like horribly high fever. Your boobs are so sore that you can't even touch them. Like, it gets so bad that like you can't even lift your arms because everything is just in so much pain and so swollen. And this is another way, and people were like, well, have your baby nurse and it'll help it on top of the antibiotics. Didn't help. I mean, there were points where Knox was like close to sleeping through the night, like giving me good 6-hour stretches, and I couldn't even sleep through the night because I was in Epsom salt baths just crying in pain. The 4th time I got mastitis, I was so scared to say I was done because I felt like a failure. Not only was I just mentally done at this point, like I could just feel my mental health going down. I also just didn't have any, like, each time I got mastitis, my milk supply went down more and more. And that was getting really scary for me because I wanted to be able to feed my child. And I didn't have formula in the house. So, funny story, the last day I got mastitis, Knox also got his first cold. So I took him to the doctor and I was able to get a lot of formula samples to try that were good for GERD, which is the reflux thing he has. Still has it to this day. It's terrible at 9 months. So she kind of helped give me tips for weaning, or not weaning, like drying up my supply and giving good breast milk for reflux issues. I honestly wish someone would have told me that it was okay to stop, and as long as he was fed, that was what's best for me and him, because a healthy mom helps, you know, care for a healthy baby. And I felt so much pressure from people around me and social media to not give up because it's what's best for him. He needs the antibodies, and when he gets sick, it helps him. But to me, I had to find peace in knowing that I literally tried everything. Like, mastitis 4 times. So let me tell you, this is how bad my letdown was. The last time, or maybe it was the 3rd time I got mastitis, the pump, like Epsom salt pumps, the antibiotics, it was just like, it felt like nothing was working. I was in so much pain, I was miserable. I had one really, really bad clogged duct on each boob, and it got so bad that, and I was just in tears, that at this point Nick was even willing to do anything to help. So since Knox's suction wasn't strong enough, nor the pump, we decided to get Nick to try, because people had told me in my mom group that getting their husbands to help unclog the duct worked. My letdown was so bad that after 30 minutes, Nick got that much milk out. Not even. We were like, it just wasn't working. Like something in this area wasn't working. So anyways, that's that. Knox switched to formula. He finally started gaining weight. He started looking healthier. He started being more active. He was like babies sleep a lot, but like he was sleeping non-stop. It was hard for us to keep him awake, and it's just because he wasn't getting enough calories. So note to anyone who's about to breastfeed or considering it or just doesn't want to, that's okay. Don't breastfeed if you don't want to. Also, if you try and it just doesn't work, that's okay too. Don't feel the pressures from society. Do what's best for your baby. And if you want to breastfeed and you're loving breastfeeding, power to you. That is a lot of work. Like when I even hear sounds that sound like a pump, that's some bad memories. I never want to pump again in my life. If I can't breastfeed with the next baby, I'm not pumping. No. So hopefully it works, or we're going straight to formula again. I am not pumping again. But yeah, just give yourself grace. You're not giving up. It's not giving up if it doesn't work, or even if you don't want to try. It just is what it is. If you're happy and healthy and baby's happy and healthy, that is all that matters. So that is my breastfeeding spiel. It was a little longer than I thought it would be, but it's been a long time since I've chatted on here and had to relive the horrible memories of my breastfeeding experience. But like I said, Knox is happy and healthy, 9-month-old, and we haven't really had any issues. So that's it for this video. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye. Oh, like and subscribe. If you have any video ideas, share them with me, because it's just probably going to be me and a lot of these by myself, because it doesn't really work here anymore. So but anyways, yeah, like, subscribe, follow us on Instagram, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.